Hello, everyone. This is Ken from Keystroke, and today we are going to be hosting the Link2quotes reseller webinar. Excuse me. Without further ado, let's jump into things. So this is the Linktivity website where you can read about all the different features. However, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight on our website, click on blog, about the third blog down, you're going to see the top 6 reasons Link2quotes Team Edition is best for quoting. I'm not going to, go through and supplant myself as a reader for everyone here, but please take a chance to go through this. Don't worry about keeping up or taking any notes down. I've covered this fairly thoroughly in terms of the new team features, and each one of these images is expandable up in lightbox mode, so you can see all of these different things. And we're going to get into exactly this in a minute. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into Link2quotes. Now, let me just tell you that about 3 months ago, I started using this in production myself. The rest of the sales team is going to be coming over next month, but I really wanted to push this really heavily to see where it was working and really provide constant feedback to the developers. And it would basically, I used this in production for 3 months nonstop every single day, and it's worked fantastic for me. And I've made the feature requests where needed, and now I'm confident to bring our entire team over to this at the end of this month. So let's jump into this. So the first thing that you're going to notice when you go into Link2quotes, I'm not going to get into account setups or anything. Let's just jump right into production. So this is my quote list view. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click on quotes, and this is what I'm going to see. And let's quickly just do an overview of what's in front of us. The first thing that you're going to see is this little progress bar. This is tracking me on my progress towards my quota. I've set myself a $20,000 monthly quota, and so far, halfway through the month, I am just around $9,700 towards it, and you can see here it's indicating that I've got $10,323 to go. So this will be in front of me every single day, showing me my progress towards completion. The second thing, new quote button is fairly self-evident, but all of these stats here and all of the results down here are based on the filters that I've got available to me. Now, the first thing is you're going to see a date range. By default, it is the valid to date range. Basically, the estimated close date or the quote is good till date. But if you want to filter by something else, you can click on here, this little drop down. You can go by date issued, valid until, which is what it is, or the actual close date, which would be something you'd want to do if you weren't just going by open quote. So I'm going to stick with valid to, and I've got going from May 1st forward, but I'm going to actually move this forward to include June 1st, and I'm going to go till, since a lot of my quotes are going till the end of July, I'm going to say that, and I've got the option to select which quotes I want to view, any status, close one. I'm going to just say open because I'm really working just on my open quotes. The salesperson, this is the team edition. So I can click here, and as you can see, there are check boxes. I'm the only one right now. We're going to be migrating the other salespeople over, but I'll be able to check individual sales reps I want to analyze in these stats. For right now, it's just going to be me. This search quote option, there's just this open search field. This will look within the quote name or the quote number, so you can search by any value here or there. And then I just click on apply filter, okay? And what's gonna happen is it will automatically update, show me the number of quotes, the total value, the weighted total, minimum, maximum, and the average, okay? If I find that any of these columns, I wanna sort this data differently. I maybe want to sort it, right now it's sorted by valid until. If I want to sort it by something different, I can click on here and sort by quote number, quote name, date issue, whichever, status, subtotal, salesperson, anything. Okay, so I've really got the ability to display this data in ways that I like. Okay, so with the KPIs, as you can see, are automatically updated. Now, if I go to any one of the individual quotes, now I've got this small quote going to a longstanding customer that is due tomorrow, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'll quickly demonstrate what these options are. You can view the quote, you can send the quote immediately, you can edit the quote, and then there's these ellipses that allow you to do additional functions like copy the link, download the PDF, accept the quote. So you can actually accept this quote by proxy or delete the quote. So if someone calls you up and says, you know what, I'm just not interested, you can actually click on delete the quote and immediately get the option to delete the quote, but keep the op. Also delete the op, mark the op as closed, and mark the opportunity as inactive, okay? And then if you select that, it will delete the quote and execute on the action for the opportunity. However, what we've discovered is that a lot of the activities that we need to do en masse are often at the end of the month or the beginning of the month. So what we did is we created this little checkbox here that allows me to select all of these, okay? And then what I can do is I can say, okay, it's the end of the month or it's the beginning of the month, and I want to change all these quotes that have expired, and I want to push them to a new expiry date, okay? So previously, and I'm a longtime QuoteWorks user and I love QuoteWorks, but what I've found is any product that that is designed for all CRMs are going to be limited in terms of what it can do with one CRM. So what we've done is we've designed this strictly for ACT. So we can do things that QuoteWorks can't, even though I'm a big supporter of it and has a lot more advanced functions than ours in certain areas. But what we found is a lot of the ACT users just don't value those things. And it's a very difficult program to learn and set up. This has no setup. You basically go in, I'll go through some of the settings, and you could start using it within an hour, okay? But this allows me to change all of them. So imagine if I had, you know, a ton of expired quotes and I wanted to check all of these things and push them to the next month, I can do them all at once. That isn't available in QuoteWorks or any other program that integrates with ACT. Be able to mass update all these quotes. And not only does it update the valid to date for the quote, it also updates the corresponding opportunity in every single quote. Because remember, when you create a quote, it will automatically create the corresponding opportunity, okay? So I'm just gonna click on cancel now. So let's say that that was the beginning of the month. Let's say it's the end of the month and I've got all these quotes that are about ready to expire. I can turn around and I can send the quote out, okay? And what it will do is it will queue up, you can see it working here. It's gonna queue up an email that will send out all the quotes to all the different recipients. Now, a couple of things. If you mass delete all of these quotes, you've got to have the same outcome. Remember, I showed you how you've got the opportunity lost or you know, delete the opportunity or whatever. When you mass delete them, you've got to have the same outcome. Same thing here. When you send an email, you can see all of these things are queued up. Here's the ability to change the template on the fly. Okay, so if I want to say quote reminder, I've got the ability to say quote reminder and I can send all of them out at the same time, okay? So, but let's say that, oops, I didn't mean to include this particular person. I can now remove them individually and then complete the sync. Or let's say for any reason, because we actually had this early on where I sent out like 20 quotes and it crashed at like 17. So they were all checked and I sent them out again, and then I just removed everyone that went out successfully. We fixed some of that issues so that it's not pulling from the API so much on this, so we haven't seen that since. But it's nice to be able to do this at once. So I see a question. Instead of updating valid to a specific, can you update the list of quotes X many days ahead? I have to think about that one, okay? But it's not a bad question. But this, as you can see, if I select a common outcome or I select a common template, I'm able to batch send, batch delete all these different quotes. This is a feature at the end of the month, may be really, really important because I'm not able to do that otherwise. QuoteWorks is a great product, but you're forced to work with one quote at a time, either by closing it, sending it, whichever. There is no ability to batch update. Okay, so we've got that. Send the delete. Okay, so these are all the quotes you can all that you've seen in my list. Here's the quote number, quote name. It's pulling in the contact and the company name. Here's the date issued, valid to, the status. For us, we quote in both CAD and USD, so we've configured it to display both here. And then obviously, since I'm the only sales rep here, it's displaying my name. But in a team, that would be really important to have that. Now, I can click on new quote, as I said, to generate a new quote, but we're going to go over to the activity dashboard. So as I said, this is in production. So you can see that there's a lot going on here with all of these. I sent a quote out to this individual today, and let's take a look at what's happened. Okay, I expand this. I sent the quote 6 hours ago. Okay, sorry, I created the quote 6 hours ago. 5 hours ago, I sent the quote. The contact viewed the quote 5 hours ago, was accepted. Okay, and when it was accepted, it automatically closed the opportunity as won. A follow-up activity was automatically created in my act, telling me I've got an accepted quote, please follow up with this customer. And then I got an additional notice that the customer looked at the quote again. So I've got all of these things here visible, showing me different. So clearly what I can tell is this customer here was one person, and then here he either looked at it from a different device or had one of his colleagues, because it's displaying a different IP address. Okay, all of these things are sorted based on quote activity, how recent the quote activity was. I sent out this particular one, very simple quote. Okay, created, sent, and the contact is viewed. So I know all of the click-through activity. Okay, and what it's doing here is, it's, as I said, it's sorting it based on the click-through activity. Now you can see that there's a fair number of here. All of the activities available are quote created, quote sent, okay, quote accepted, which is up here, quote viewed, also a follow-up activity scheduled. We got almost every one of them in this one quote. And then the one final one I haven't shown you guys is the reminders. We've built in a reminder feature where you can actually program Link2quotes to send out a reminder email X number of days prior to it expiring. Okay, so you get copied on that. The customer gets copied on it, and it's one final nudge that you don't have to worry about manually doing because the program is doing it. Okay, now, so we've covered all acts. We showed about the IPs, and we showed how each one of these things are all nested. You can view them as quotes or expand them like this. And obviously, the more click-through activity you've got, the more sense that this person is engaged with the quote, and you can schedule or organize your follow-ups accordingly. Okay. Now, you'll see some in green, some in the regular background color. The green, obviously for money, highlighted indicates that this is an accepted quote. If on this screen you want to go into the quote, you can just click on this or click on this, and it will allow you to view the quote. Okay, if for some reason you don't remember what it was about. But even on the quote activity, it's listing all the relevant information that you need. Here's the last activity, here's the name of the quote, here's the amount, the status, here's the contact, the company name, here's the sales rep, and the last activity was 2 hours ago. Okay, so that's, at a glance, you can see you've got quite a bit of activity, but now I want to see this from a higher level. I want to see reports. It's great to have these KPIs, okay, but I want to see my sales activity. So I'm going to click over to the reports here. Again, another feature that's only available in Teams. And now I can view all of my reports based on, now this is going back a little bit far. So I want to say, let's go from May 1st. I don't need to adjust the forward date too much. And I'll go to the end of July. Okay, again, select person and then apply filter. Okay, so now what I can see here is I've got my monthly deals, and it's displaying here that I've had 29,000 in deals here. Okay, it shows the number of deals lost. Okay, but that's actually not the number of deals, so that's the value of the deals. And then here, same thing, deals won in June. So it's broken this down by May. So far as you've seen, I had 9,600, close to 9,700. And then I can see that I've got open quotes of 7,700. Okay, now I can view things graphically, quotes by status, showing me all the KPIs over here. Open quotes, deals won, okay, showing me this is over a 2-month time period, okay, actually about a month and a half, and then the deals lost, breaking it down. So this really provides some incisive sales data and you know, the numbers that you need to really analyze both yourself and your team's performance. Okay, let's get into templates. Templates was something that we added since we did the last demo. And templates is a team version only, okay? Because what you saw when I had that email queued up, that batch email, I was able to select a template on the fly. With standard edition, you can set default templates, okay? Default templates for, you know, for when you create a quote, when you when you deliver a quote, when you accept a quote, and a reminder and things like that, but you can't have multiple ones for each purpose. So this allows me, I've got, actually, sorry, my bad. This is the, these are templates for actual quotes. So let's say that I do the same kind of quote repeatedly, which in this case, you can see Act Premium with hosting and Orange Care, Act Pro V24 quote without support, VIP, this is a new one. Okay, if someone's getting a new support plan, here's renewal with discount, and here is an AMA template with upgrade discount. So these are ones that I do repeatedly, and if someone asks for that, I can, when I click on new, I've got 3 options. Just kind of go back here. If I click on new, I've got the option to create from scratch, use an existing opportunity, something that's already been created. And that's where we started. But once I put this into production, I realized I want to be able to create a quote literally from my iPad anywhere. It's not going to be about, I want to go to the trouble of creating opportunities. I want this to create opportunities because I want it to create opportunities while I'm creating quotes. And then, as I said, I want to be able to do it from anywhere. And the best way is to create a template, something that I do repeatedly. And this allows me to select it and go. Okay. But I'm going to click on cancel on that because we're getting ahead of ourselves here. And so that's what these templates are for. Now, one of the bigger additions that we had with the introduction of team editions is the ability to organize a product database, because by default, when we first created Link2quotes, it pulled from the product table in Act. Well, we realized that for things to really, really get sophisticated and really have flexible quoting options, we couldn't rely on that. So what we did is for the team edition, we created a separate online database, okay, that allows you to create any number of products. You can import them in from a spreadsheet. I've seen people export it from QuickBooks, import it into, once they clean it up a little bit, import it in, all of a sudden you've got all of these different options. So let me just look up one, and I'm going to show you, do a quick search. Okay, here's one called the Linktivity bundle. And let's just see what we've got here. We've got the options. What is the type? Right now we've got 2, a regular product and upcharge. We frequently have to apply upcharges to things, especially when it comes to foreign exchange. So we created a different product category for that. Here's the name. And you'll see here where you've got a full rich text editor, bold, italics, underline. You've got alignments here. You've got the ability to put in bullets and numbers and hyperlinks. And this last one, if you copy and paste in information from another source, you can use this to clear out the formatting rather than scrubbing it through Notepad. Okay, now here I've just created a brief little description, and I've put in here, I've added in little bullets. Then what I did is the product link. Now this is something that doesn't exist in other quoting programs. You can actually put in the product link that will appear inside the quote. So if they click on it, it will take them to your website displaying more information on the product. Or what I've seen some people do is they'll actually put a link to an online PDF, okay, if they don't have a dedicated page for it, and this will display, show up as a modal and display the PDF on the product. So really it provides drill down capability that we haven't been able to see in any other quote product. What is the item number? The item number we have to have in here because once a quote is accepted, we use Q sales to actually convert it into a QuickBooks transaction. So this is where you want to have the actual product information, the category, colon, the product, and then that way if it's recognized, it automatically creates the transaction. If it's not recognized, it automatically creates the product, then creates the transaction. Now in this case, I'm putting the price, okay, and then this Linktivity bundle comes with an automatic 50% discount, so it adjusts down to $300. What I can do is I'm going to always display this as a 50% as a way of promoting the value of the bundle, okay? And I'm going to show you how that looks in a quote. Again, I haven't seen anything else in a quoting product that displays a discount with a strikeout of the previous price, okay? This does. Now the option group, I'm going to show you how this works later, but this allows you to include either or. So if you want to have, for us, a VIP or a VIP plus or pro versus premium, what you can do is you can set up a little option group so that when you quote someone, it's going to say, here's a quote of 5 Act Pros and 5 Act Premiums. And if they select one, it deselects the other and it doesn't misrepresent what the total is, okay? And then mark this product as optional is kind of along the same thing. If you want to include a bunch of options that don't create a big scary subtotal at the bottom and allow people to kind of opt in those things and create the total themselves, then this is what you can do, okay? And then here's our different tax options that you can apply, but that's basically it. Now you can create these products inside of a quote and create them on the fly and then just click update, which I'm going to show you later, and it updates the product database automatically. But that's a pretty powerful feature. Just clear the quote. I'll clear this. Okay, and here's all the products, and you can see I've got discounts. I've got tons of different products here, 4 different pages of products, and all I got to do is type them in, and it automatically searches for them, and then I can add in the one that I like. Okay, so we've covered all of that. Now, not only did we add a product database, but we also added what amounts to an image database as well, because what we found, especially people in the trades, that they often have images of what they're quoting. Now, I know QuoteWorks, or Quote Valet, I should say, has that little, snippet at the end. I like it. It doesn't, to me, if you're quoting what a casement window looks like, that isn't a great illustration of it, okay? What I want is something that runs the full width of the quote. So if you're quoting on something, on a particular product, you can put the image right beneath it. If you are in doors and windows and you want to grab a product from your hard drive, okay, you can just click on upload image and you can do so, okay? Now, you'll see over here, 1.1 of 100 megs. All accounts get assigned 100 megs automatically. You can see all of these images here, and I've taken 1.1, okay? Because if you upload too big of an image, it resizes it to the maximum 900 pixels wide, okay? So that conserves a lot of people will take product images in high res. This eliminates that issue, okay? So here you can sort by name, so on and so forth. But we like to, based on the layout of quotes, we provide images, or we created images that were very landscape in orientation, and they just look better. We also provide this service if either one of our full-time design People can create these images for you, and we can provide a quote to that effect. But I'm just going to show you, we're going to breeze on by this. This particular feature, as I said, is available only in Teams, but we do create the ability to have a pick list for the standard users. Now, the only thing is you're not going to be able to upload it and create it like an image library. And by the way, the product database and the image database in Teams are shareable. So once you create it, every single one of your users can access it. Same thing with the email templates. That's a key part of Teams, is being able to share the resources, share the design templates, share the images, the products, emails, everything. So everyone benefits from it, and then view all the data, okay, in one place as well. You can still filter it down for your own personal results, but it's nice to know that every single team member can contribute to the assets that everyone else can share. Okay, so I'm going to get into the pick list later, okay, because it's actually a fairly cool feature that allows you to just grab images, save them in your pick list, create a hyperlink, and then easily add them to your quote. Okay. But right now, what I want to do is I want to go over to settings, okay, and just quickly kind of go through the format here. This is how we structure whatever quote numbering format we want to go through. Automatically, it's going to provide the sequencing for you, but you may want to have a suffix, a number of digits, a prefix, and this will display the sample number. Here is the default template. Okay, when I say templates, the design template, okay, which we'll get into later. And then here is the default email content when you're delivering something. Team members will only have one, and they'll just get the design screen here. Okay, same thing with the acceptance. They're just going to get an MCE editor box. They won't have a drop down. Okay. Okay. Next, as you can see, we quote in multiple currencies. I imagine a lot of people won't, so this will be fairly straightforward, either CAD or USD, or euro, lira, whichever. This is where we put in the sales tax number, which is really important when you're quoting, because if you're going to be quoting transactions with sales tax, most tax authorities require you to display that both on the quote and the invoice. So we provide an area to post it. Here's all the different sales taxes, okay? The nice thing about all these different sales taxes is that you can actually apply multiple sales taxes on a quote, so that you've got one quote for one line item, and you've got one sales tax for one line item, and a different sales tax for another. What's relevant to us, certainly in Ontario, is maybe 10 years ago, we would not charge PST on services, okay, the provincial sales tax, but we charge GST on everything. Even today, we cannot charge GST on insurance. So if someone's sending out an insurance quote, you would want to make sure that only PST was included. Anyway, I'm not going to bore people with Canadiana, but that's why we created all of this tax flexibility, sales tax flexibility. Here is the product lookup. If you are in the standard edition, you're only going to use the ACT database. If you're in Teams, you can use one or the other, but we obviously recommend to use the Link2quotes product database. Identify product by. So this is, when you're searching, do you want to use it by the name, or do you want to use the item number? Okay, we're going by the name, so when you're typing in the search, it's a human-friendly name. Okay, security. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time demoing this because I demoed this a couple of months ago. This is one of the early features. So what you can do for added security, and this is a user preference, if you click this box and someone accepts a quote online, it will then pop up a message and say, please check your email for a verification code. It will go only to the email registered with that quote. We won't get copied on that, okay? They get it, they enter in that code in that little dialog box, click accept, and then the quote officially closes, okay? And this eliminates the issue of anyone disputing that a quote was improperly accepted by proxy, they never actually saw it. Well, they can't make that statement if only people that are in control of that inbox would have received that information. Okay, so that's I think really, really nice. Certainly important for different industries over others. I don't enable it so much anymore, just because we've got so many people that want to just kind of accept the quote as quickly as possible, and we really don't get any chargebacks. Okay, this was something that we added. We found that even though I was doing all the quotes, I wasn't the one that was converting it to accounting afterwards. So we put in the notification email BCC. This could be something just for the sales manager. So all your sales reps, okay, will copy all of the accepted quotes to the sales manager so he will know as fast as you do when a quote gets accepted. But in this case, it's james.paulus@kqc.ca because he's the one that actually converts the transactions, okay, into invoices. So here you can see is my monthly sales quota, okay? Now the follow-ups, I see someone added a question on follow-ups. So I want to, I didn't answer it because I want people to see the demos here. So what you can do is you can create a follow-up activity that gets scheduled for you automatically in Act after each and every quote event, okay? I find it excessive for each and every one of them, okay? But you've got the, if you create a quote, okay, you can have the option to automatically schedule a call or activity. This is going to pull from your activity list in Act because it's connected to it via the API. So any custom activities will be available as well. Delivery follow-up. So after you send a quote, you've got the option to create a follow-up, and that might be 2 or 3 days, whatever. For me, I don't find value in it, but absolutely, I want to create a follow-up activity in my Act so that every single time I get an accepted quote, I've got a follow-up activity to update that person's contact record, send them out a thank you, whichever. And then the last one is send reminder email before expiry. This was a feature we just added in this week. This sets the number of days and this sets the quote reminder. You will get a quote reminder default template automatically, okay, when you sign up, and you can obviously customize that to suit your needs, but you can access any of the templates here with the Team Edition, okay? The template designs or design templates, I covered a lot of this early on, but you can view the quote here. This is what our quote will look like. Okay, it's putting in a lot of sample data. So here's John Doe, here's all the issuance, the currencies, here's the sales tax number. It's put in my handsome profile here, identifying me as the sales rep. It also offers the bill to and a ship to. Often I'll find this really helpful with resellers. Okay, or today's deal, I had the principal and I had the IT person. I was able to put the IT person under ship to. It's going to put in some bogus information. Remember I told you how if you have that discount, okay, it would show you the price, strike it out and display it here. It shows you the subtotal. It doesn't dress it up in any way, but it shows you here's the subtotal, the shipping cost, okay, deposit required upon acceptance. Here is all of the legal stuff, deposit and delivery, okay. Scroll down, the estimated, you've got the additional legalese here. What we've done though is because Linktivity is a suite of products, what we've done is we've created the ability to say, have questions about your quote, click here to book a time with me. So we've integrated Link to Calendar right into the quote, okay? Same thing with here, customer satisfaction survey. I've built this in right into it. Okay, I'm going to show you how that works later, but nice to have this option, and these are seamlessly added in, and it allows you to have that cross-pollination across all the different products when you're promoting, okay? And it really heightens the level of customer engagement where you can say, hey, here's my quote, book a meeting with me, how am I doing, that kind of thing. I think really, really elevates how you engage with the customer. If you want to edit it, click here. Okay, here's where you put the name. You can upload an image. I said I wanted to have quotation in there. I actually had some people that have changed this to invoice and have used this for online invoicing. Okay, here is the delivery notes. Here is the acceptance text, the text that they will see immediately after they accept it. You didn't see this before, but you can have very detailed terms and conditions here that will automatically be available. You don't have to reference some online resources. We put this in so that you can format it with the MC editor and it's automatically hosted for you, okay? Enable the calendar link, that's all I put in. I just clicked on this, and then the customer satisfaction survey, all I did was I just selected from the drop-down and that automatically enabled it. I can go with the text that's by default, it's all grayed out, or I can add my own text, okay? Customizing style, I covered a lot of this during the last demo, so I'm not going to do a super deep dive on this, but you can control, you know, the font colors, the font style, or font choices, I should say, active colors, everything. Like every part of this design quote that you need to modify to be consistent with your branding, you can do so, okay? And, you know, just to see how absurd it can get, you know, you can have it pretty ugly, okay? But, you know, this is just a sample of you know, using some unattractive text, okay? Now the emails. These are the email templates that I mentioned earlier. Here's my Act Premium one. Here is my Act Pro one. I'm going to show you some of these as I do the demo at the end. Here's a quote acceptance. So this isn't one that I would send. This is one that gets automated to send. Quote delivery. This is the default. Quote reminder. Okay, as I said, this is added in. And just to kind of, what you can do is you can create one template, okay, that then you can use as a boilerplate for others. So here is a VIP one. I'm going to create a copy of this, okay, and now I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to say this is going to be my orange care quote, new, okay, and just put floor plan, okay, for both the standard and plus options, but I have pre-selected the one I think appropriate for your needs. Okay, I'm just going to remove all of this information because it's really related to specific to that. Okay, and now look at all the merge fields I've got down here. Quote name, quote number, which is already in here, quote link, which is a hyperlink here. Okay, quote date, quote expiry. So what I've done, which expires on, so I've actually merged in this data. Okay, deposit rate, billing name, shipping name, display name, job title. So I've got, you know, some of that information down here. Okay, I can save all of this now. I'm just going to click on save and quote. Okay, and now you can see here, if I want to take a look here, your quote number, excellent, everything is perfect. Okay, and you can see even the subject line is merging in the quote number. And I can put in here, okay. Okay, so that subject line is also updated and will be pre-populated. But that's the nice thing that, you know, if I'm creating quotes based on one particular subject, it's nice that I don't have to retype the content because it may be a support plan, it may be an add-on plan, it may be pro or versus premium or something like that. Obviously, having to pick the appropriate you know, email content is just going to slow down delivery. Now I can select it on the fly. Okay. Now I did promise to show you guys how pick lists work. Okay. So here is a pick list. So if I created, this is available to standard. Now the only thing is these have to be, you know, images that you have someplace online, okay? Because you're not uploading them, you're taking them from an existing source. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to create one. So let's say that I want to go here. Okay, I'm going to scroll down and I am going to take this image. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say copy image link. And now I'm going to say add going to put this here. That's the image link, new premium 2. And I'm going to say, what do I want the hyperlink to be? I'm going to say I want the hyperlink to be our blog on the new Act Premium Cloud being released tomorrow. So I'm going to put that in here. Okay, I'm done. So now when I'm inside a quote, I have this available to me. However, we have something even cooler. We have videos. That's right, videos. You guys have never seen videos in a quote before, but you can actually insert videos into the body of it. And this will support Vimeo or YouTube videos. So in this case, if I were to add one, I just simply add the name and add the source. Okay, and that's it. So I'm just going to close this. Okay, but we manage all of our video content on Vimeo, so I just added in. I'm going to show you at the end as I build a quote how you can add it in to a quote and how it will appear. I'm just going to close that. Okay, so let me just see where we're at. We covered emails. Okay, so let's create a quote. We've covered pretty much all the settings. I'm going to create a quote that is going to offer Michael Cadlub the option for Act Pro or Act Premium, five of one or the other. I'm going to include a support plan because if anyone needs support, it's Michael. And then I'm going to add in a Linktivity bundle option. And I'm going to kind of sprinkle graphics and videos throughout. Okay, so let's create a new quote. And I'm going to say from scratch. So say test quote for Lubs. Create quote. Boom. I'm in the quote screen. Now, the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to obviously add Michael. So I'm going to put in Michael Cadlub, and I'm going to search for him, and there he is. However, here's something you haven't seen anywhere else. Let's say that I just get a business lead. This guy isn't even in Act, and I'm on my tablet and I want to create the contact. Boom. Same kind of screen you see with secondary contacts. I can add this in, and when I click on apply, it will automatically add that contact to Act via the API and add him as the bill to in the quote. But for the demo purposes, and like I said, that isn't available in QuoteWorks, not available in any other quoting program that I'm aware of. But let's click on apply. Now Michael is here. Michael's American, so let's pick USD. Okay, he hates Canadian sales taxes, so I'll spare him this time. Okay, I've got some of the stuff is pre-populated. It's using my default template. It's inserted me as a sales rep. Date issued is obviously today. We've configured it so that the valid to date is always 30 days later, but you can change that to whatever you want. Let's make it to the end of June. Deposit required. I don't trust Michael, so it's going to be all cash up front. Okay, here's the shipping fee. If I want, I'm going to add Victor Cron. I'm going to add him to the ship to. Okay, so most of this quote is created. I don't want to pivot over to opportunities because I want to complete the products first. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say Act Premium, click on the down arrow and scroll down. Come on. Act Premium annual subscription. Okay. And then I'm going to say, okay. Now here's the nice thing, because we all know that it's got win back right now, but let's say that I don't know what the discount is to get down to 350. All I have to do is say 450 is the price, adjusted price is 350, and it will calculate the discount automatically. Okay, so let's go to V24. Okay, I'm going to add this in, 0 discount. Okay, but I want to include a little separator. So I'm going to just put in or. Okay, and then I'm going to move it up between these two. Now, I want to create, right now, this is 350 plus 450. that's going to look higher than necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make both these products optional, and I'm going to create a little group. Act, mark this option, and this option is selected as default because I want them to pick the premium subscription. However, when I click here, I'm going to say act again, and this product is not selected. Okay, sorry, this product is optional but not selected. Now, you see here, because I've grouped them, I can actually change it on the fly, and it goes back and forth, and it will do the same thing for the customer. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to have a separator, and then I'm going to add another separator here and put support options. Okay, and I'm going to add VIP, and I'm going to say, let's say VIP support plan. I'm going to click on product again and type in VIP, and I want to get the plus. VIP plus, you can see the pricing ripple out. Each one of these, I want to make this, okay, optional as well. I'm going to make this one not selected because I want them to spend more, okay, and I'm going to put in the VIP here so that it groups them together. VIP, and then this optional, and I'll make sure this is the selected one. I'm actually going to delete this separator just to keep it from cluttered. But what I want to do is I've got product options here, and I've got support options here. So I'm going to add in a couple of images to kind of dress this up. So I'm going to say image. Okay. Now, if I'm a standard user, I can use this pick list. This is where the pick list shows up. Okay. So I'm actually going to put in X64. Okay. And I'm going to drag this up one more place. Okay. So now this is grouped, and I want to add one under support. And let's say, oops, delete that. Let's add the image, and I'm going to select from here the different support options. I don't have any great ones here, so I'm going to select here VIP. Okay, and then what I can do is when I select on here, it's like, okay, here's my VIP link. It's actually including the image link, and it's showing me where it's pulled it from. But here I can actually set the width, the height of the image. I can set in margins and alignment. Okay, so I can really control how this gets displayed on the page, but I'm going to go with the default. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more product. I'm just going to create a little space here, and now I'm going to create Linktivity, show you the product we displayed earlier, the Linktivity bundle, and for the pièce de résistance, we're going to add a video, okay, from our pick list, and I'm going to select the Linktivity products. And now I've got my quote built, and you can see here, I've got either or here, I've got either or here, okay, and I've got my Linktivity bundle. Every single section has got a graphic illustration, with this bottom one being a video. So let's click on this. Now I want to go over to opportunity details. And I'm saying, you know what? I want this to be part of the ACT product sales cycle. And I want to move it up to quotation, which automatically bumps up my probability to 50%. You can see that it's carried forward the estimated close date automatically. But now I want to see what the quote looks like. So I want to click on preview. Okay, so you see all the familiar formatting. You can see here how this is crossed out, displaying 350. You can see here that this is bringing up the ACT Premium product. Same thing here. So if anyone wants to drill down, it's showing in an attractive way the ACT V24 image as kind of a nice break, and you can click on this and it will bring you to the ACT Premium. Here is the different support options. okay, you can see that this one is selected, this one isn't, so it's not contributing to the total. This one isn't selected, it's not contributing, okay? But I've selected this, you can see all the descriptions. I've added in this here, okay, for the image, and, okay, and then I think I added in an empty product. I'd have to go back and delete that. And then the Linktivity bundle, and then I told you here's the discount, and let's see what the video looks like. So you can actually watch a video and promote your products right inside of the quote, okay? Now I've noticed that I've got one little error here, down here. I'm just gonna click here, go back. Okay, this is a product line. I meant to put a separator in here. Okay, now there's nothing. Now it's saved and will display properly. Okay, so now I'm ready to send. Click save and send. Now I've got additional options over here. I can save as a quote template. If I want to create a template out of this, if for some reason I sent this out regularly, I can click on this and it will automatically save this as a PDF to the opportunity history. I can accept the quote. I can accept it by proxy, or I can just go in here. Let's say the customer said, nah, never mind, I don't want it. You can actually delete the quote internally, but now we're just going to accept it, or not accept it, send, please. And I'm going to change the quote on the fly, say Act Premium Quote. You can see how this is nicely formatted. You can see that Michael and Vic have been inserted up here. Okay, and now they can see the quote is a link, and I'm going to send the quote. Okay, now this is pausing a minute because this is also writing to the history, and it is recording back to Linktivity, okay, to that. So just waiting for this to go out.
I got my quote.
You got your quote. And now I'm going to go over to the activity dashboard. And you can see here, test quote for Lubs has already been set up. So this is being created. This is being sent. I've got my little refresh button. So Vic or Lubs, if you can accept it, please.
Looking at it first to make sure I wanted to accept it. So
Understood. Here's what the quote will look like. Okay. It will go out formatted like this. It will include the PDF, and it's going to include the link down there.
it's just loading. So I'll just wait a minute.
Okay. So if I click on refresh, I now have record that he has viewed the quote, okay, 0 seconds ago. Okay, that's how fast the feedback is. And when he accepts it, it will be added to the history, and this will be, it will not only close the quote, not only make this green here to indicate it's done, it will update the activity log, but it will also close the quote, close the opportunity in Act instantly as one. Okay, so you don't have to do any double process.
Refresh now, Ken.
Okay, I just got an email here saying, thank you for accepting the quote. That was done. And now if I click on refresh, it is accepted. Okay, you can see it in green. Now, what you can also do, let me just bring this on over. Okay, and let me just see if I can show this. Okay, let's click on refresh. Okay, so you can see the Michael Cadlib quote has been closed one. This is our cloud edition, and it's automatically created this. It created the opportunity, and now it has closed it as one. If I go over to my task list, okay, I can see that I've got this accepted quote. If I click on refresh, I now have an accepted quote, accepted, this is Michael, but it was accepted by Victor, okay? That's how fast the opportunities get updated And that's how quickly we get the feedback. Similarly, James Paulus has also been notified by email, and he is getting, he obviously can start converting that over into an invoice and send it out to the customer. Okay. Now, we've showed the pro versus premium. We showed the different options. We showed how the opportunity gets accepted. Okay. Let's talk some of the commercials here. What does all of this cost? Okay. If you were to get the bundle here, you would pay $300 and get $600 and get all the products. The Link2quotes, the standard edition, is $13 a month or $156. We started off at $10 a month, but we spent 3 months adding features, as you guys have seen, and we thought, you know what, $13 is a very, very fair price per month. So we 156 per year, and then $240 or $20 a month for the team edition. However, this month is the this is the product of the month, so there's an additional 20% off. A good number of people here the whole time, so I appreciate your interest. I will send around a video of this webinar to everyone that registered and publish it in a couple of extra places as well. So thank you again for attending, and hope all of you have a great day.